Hello from Covenant Life Fellowship, where Ken Porter
That's me.
is the pastor. My name is Bev Porter. Welcome to Bev's Lifeline. Today we wanted to talk to you about money.
Yes.
When you bring two very different people together in marriage, you also bring two very different orientations together as it relates to money. And those two very different orientations can cause stress.
Yes, they can clash. Do you know that one of the number one disagreements or issues that couples have is regarding money?
Yeah.
How to spend it, how much you have.
Yeah.
It really doesn't matter how much money you have or how little money you have. It becomes an issue.
It really does. And most couples, if they focus at all on short-term goals, they tend to stay on short-term, not long-term. Short-term goals would be something like, let's pay $100 towards our credit card debt.
Mm-hmm.
And that's good to have short-term goals, but we are challenging you to think a little bit broader. Think about your long-term goals and how do these short-term goals feed into these long-term goals. Here's a long-term goal example. Let's save enough money, develop a strategy so that we can buy a house, save enough money where we can have a down payment on a house. A long-term goal would be anywhere from a year to 5 years and beyond.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
Yeah. And one of the things that we've found that's been very helpful and instrumental in our lives is that I sit down at the end of the year along with Bev.
Yeah.
And we put together what our personal goals are.
Yeah.
After we put those together, then we come and sit down and we look over those goals together.
Yes.
And to determine what are the goals that we agree upon, how do we reach those goals, and then it gives us a plan. And when we have a plan, then we can work the plan.
Yeah, it's such an interesting conversation because sometimes you've had things on your list that I didn't have, and so we get to talk about it.
Mm-hmm.
And sometimes the things that are on your list are also the things that are on my list.
Yes.
And so it's quite nice.
It is.
You know where I feel like we've had the most challenge
Mm-hmm.
is when we didn't have goals.
Yes.
Right. So we would just spend money without any rhyme or reason. Nothing to plan for, and then we would always be surprised at the end of the year when we would do our income taxes, or at the beginning of the year we do our income taxes, and we were like, "Wow, we made that much money."
Yeah, where did it go?
Where did it go? And it was almost like putting money in pockets that had holes. That's what the scripture says.
Absolutely.
And so when we decided to change the plan and come up with goals is when things got better. I feel
Absolutely. Yeah. And another thing that we did, we realized that, and when we realized that, we decided how serious it was to keep up with our finances, that we actually performed plastic surgery. We cut up the carbs.
We really did. We did. But in the spirit of being very transparent, even when we did have goals,
Mm-hmm.
we still messed up.
Oh yeah, several times.
And so it took us a couple of iterations of coming up with goals and discipline. We have to be disciplined. That I think we turned the table, right? And I think what was critical is I remember one year you said that we did not want to be in bondage to credit cards because we had so much credit card debt, and we agreed that we would not be in bondage. But guess what happened? We paid off a credit card debt, and guess what happened? We got back into it, and so it took us a few tries, but we were very much aware. I think having the goals allowed us to see how far off we were from where we said we wanted to be, and it just took a couple of attempts, but we were doing it together.
Yes, and now we have freedom. I'm not saying financial freedom, but we are at least not in bondage, and we're not just buying things that we really don't need.
No, we were better stewards.
Yeah.
But we did it together.
Absolutely.
Right?
The only way to do it.
Yeah, we didn't have separate accounts.
No, separate accounts are basically, they're divisive. If you have a separate account, if I have a separate account and Bev has a separate account, then we're not working together. Your money is your money, and her money is her money. Is not our money. Our money. We're married. We're together and work together. It works. Believe me.
If you're poor, I'm poor.
Yeah.
If if you have money, I have money.
We experience it together,
Yeah.
the highs and the lows,
Yeah.
and we also have victory
Yeah.
together.
Together. So it takes the combined effort.
It takes two, baby.
It takes two, and it's not about whether you make more or whether I make less or whatever the case. We are both contributing into the fund.
Yes.
And we're both doing the best we can. We're going to talk about our purchases. You're not going to go out and buy a motorcycle. Right? We're going to talk about it, right? Because
before I buy the motorcycle.
Pray for us, please. So listen, that's what we have for you. Now we ask you to think about your goals. Make short-term, make long-term goals. Visit them on a regular basis. And I you know what? I look forward to hearing how the Lord is going to bless you through being better stewards over the money that God has given you, right?
Yes, and this is ministry.
This is ministry, so we want you to share it.
And also like it.
No, we love you infinity.
Until next time.
Bye for now.